Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Dual-Wielder's Writing Debugging, where I break down writing tips and tactics into bite-sized chunks to help you improve your own writing. In this entry, let's take a look at a matter requiring some subtlety, and that is communication without words. As we discussed previously in this playlist, how your characters speak should reflect who they are, but just as important is what they don't say. Things such as body language can convey much more than words, and sometimes characters don't fully or accurately voice what's on their mind. Sometimes, a character might not have their thoughts coalesced enough to fully say what they're thinking. Maybe they don't trust those they're around. Perhaps they could even be stoic individuals who let their actions speak for them. Whatever the case, characters shouldn't simply blurt out every thought that comes to their mind. Space Marine 2 provides several examples of this concept done well. So, let us examine a few.
Sir, you served in the Death Watch.
Yes.
That must have been a great honor. It's a privilege to serve with you.
Approaching drop zone. Let's go.
You see those service studs?
Our lieutenant is over 200 years old.
He couldn't have been born a Primaris.
You're right.
And now he has your command.
When Titus first meets with Gadriel and Chiron, he doesn't say much at all, mostly responding in one-word answers and restricting what he does say to mission-critical commands. This is because after the events of the first game, where he was betrayed by one of his own, he's reluctant to trust anyone. You can see it in his bearing, how he doesn't make eye contact, and his rigid posture. It shows that he's on edge, now that he's serving with his old Ultramarines again, instead of being in the Death Watch. When Gadriel, in the same cutscene, is reminded that Titus now holds the command that he once did due to his higher rank, you can see so much on his face without him ever saying a word. There's a mixture of both reverence and a little agitation. As the game progresses, Titus uncovers more plots by hidden entities that relate back to the events of the first game. But as he no longer trusts his battle brothers, he doesn't inform them of what he knows, leading to Gadriel not trusting him.
You say there will be a massacre. How do you know that? Why else would the traitors be trying so hard to stop us? Our lieutenant said it himself. There's deception at work.
If you got something to say, Sergeant.
This leads to Gadriel rushing off during a mission after implying that Titus is deceiving them. He doesn't outright say that he believes Titus may be a traitor, but it's plain to see in what he does say, and his actions show just how little he trusts his commander. But he extends himself too far and nearly gets in over his head when Titus and Chiron come to his aid. Titus roughly hands him his bolt pistol that he dropped, and once again, his face declares more than anything he could vocalize in such a short time. He doesn't need to tell Gadriel that he's being reckless and that he's out of line, as his expression and gesture says all of that far more efficiently. As a final example, after Titus has proven himself and forged bonds of brotherhood with the rest of his chapter at the end of the game, he comes face to face with the chaplain that he had spoken to many times throughout the game, only to discover that he is Leandros, the very Marine who had betrayed him in the first game.
But know this, Titus. The stain of suspicion never completely fades. I will be watching you. Should you falter on the path for even a moment, I will show no mercy. Leandros.
All he says is his name, and both of their faces say it all here. Leandros still doesn't trust Titus, and Titus hasn't forgiven him for his treachery. There's bad blood between the two, even though they're on the same side. They don't need to exposit, Leandros, you're the one who gave me over to the Inquisition. No, Titus, you touched the powers of the warp and emerged unscathed. You must be an agent of chaos. No. All of their thoughts can be read by their faces and posture. So, in summary, characters in your story don't need to spill their thoughts out at every moment. Describing their expressions and body language can do far more in some circumstances. This can work especially well when characters are trying to be deceitful, are in tense situations, are still forming their thoughts, or any other instance in which dialogue would be unnatural to a scene. But what do you think about things being left unsaid? Leave some of your favorite examples in the comments below, leave a like on this video if you're so inclined, and subscribe to see more. I would like to thank you for watching, and may you all have a weapon in each hand.